So what happens when a toy store and the demonic join forces? Today we are seeing an uptick in witchcraft around the world. Now it's becoming commonplace within our children and within our young adults. So during the Halloween season that just passed, Hasbro, the famed toy company, launched an AI-powered Ouija board website that allowed people to quote-unquote access the spirit realm.
You and your friends just found out about the new AI-powered Ouija board. You've got questions.
So it says you and your friends just found out about the new AI-powered Ouija board. And then it says you've got questions.
And the spirit world has answers. Summon the spirits from your phone or computer, if you dare.
Wait a second. So the end page says Ouija, mystifying oracle, Ouija.com. Summon the spirits from your phone or computer if you dare. Right? Then it has a picture of Ouija board, and then it has a little Hasbro logo at the end. So Hasbro is obviously behind this, right? But it's saying you have questions, and then it had on the screen, "Spirit, are you there? Get the answers to your questions. Summon the spirits from your phone or computer if you dare," right? Like, that is crazy. And then let's go back. And it showed them people closing their eyes and moving and closing their eyes and moving the thing. I forget what, I don't know whether it is a guide or whatever around the Ouija board to guess answers, right? Growing up, I don't know why this memory got unlocked just now. Growing up, I remember not having one, but I remember playing with one of those 8-balls. Like, somebody either brought it to school or I was somewhere, and I remember playing with those 8-balls and asking it a question, and obviously sometimes it would get it wrong, right? But people would shake up the 8-ball or shake up, I forget what it was, right? I think it was some type of 8-ball. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of it, but some type of 8-ball that you was able to shake or whatever, and you'd be able to get it, ask it a question and do it. And then what kids were doing a lot in school, where I don't know why these memories are being unlocked as I'm doing this, but I remember kids were doing school with the little paper notes, and used to ask it a question and used to write on it. I never made one, but I seen like girls play with them, and used to write certain things on the thing, like certain numbers and certain things on it. And they would say pick a number, and they would do, if I could find a video of somebody playing with it, but they would play with the little piece of paper and do it as many ever times as you say, and then on the last number, like let's say you said 8, they would do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then on that 8th one, that will be your answer, right? So growing up, there were some sort of like high key, low key, very much low key, because this was a Christian school, mind you, very much low key witchcraft, or like symbols of witchcraft, or symbols of like things with fortune telling, symbols of, oh, you have a question, ask it and answer, right? So as a kid, I remember, playing with those things if somebody else had them or whatever, doing that because you think it's cool. So now that these younger kids are in this day and age, and I'm 30 years old now, and we're in this day and age, now you have kids have the ability, and young adults and young kids have the ability to, now they don't have to play with the little magic 8-ball or the little paper mache looking thing where you count the number and you guess the number, or you say a number and they do it a couple of times and it gives you your answer. Now they don't have that. Now they have a whole website that's powered by this mysterious oracle. Granted, it's AI powered answers, but it's still giving people an invitation into the demonic, right? Now you're able to see, like, okay, now it's not just the physical Ouija boards anymore that people buy offline. Now you can manipulate one and get one all online and be messing with the spirits and messing with the demonic realm, right? And then you see the branding of it. Like, if you read the Hasbro tweet, it says spirits, let's play. It has a ghost and a crystal ball. Dive into a new dimension with the AI-powered Ouija board. Access to the spirit realm is open through Wednesday. So the good thing about this, it was only open from October 30th to November 1st to that Wednesday, right? So that's the good thing about it, that it was only up for a couple of days. But the fact that like the demonic and the witchcraft is so commonplace is kind of crazy. But one thing to keep in mind as I was writing out my notes thinking about this video, one thing to keep in mind though is that if Hasbro is behind this, and Hasbro is a famous toy company that's been around since I was a child, right? If Hasbro is behind this, what else are they behind? What other agendas are they supporting? What other things, you know, are they creating and doing to be able to corrupt our children and to corrupt people and things of that nature? So that's just something to keep in mind. Like, if this is a toy company and a toy company is over here joining forces with the demonic and giving people access to the demonic via website, making it look cool, what else are they doing, right? So that's something to keep in mind. So the question you may be asking is, why do people go to Ouija boards, and then should we as Christians go to Ouija boards and things of that nature, right? So I just did a great interview with Pastor Travis Newkirk of Centrifuge Church. You should go check that out on my channel, where we talk about witchcraft and occult, and it ironically has a Ouija board in the background of the video. Why do people go to Ouija boards and things of that nature, right? So the reason why people go to Ouija boards, they go to psychics, they go to mediums, is because they want to know the future, right? They want to know the future, right? We, you know, humans, we have an appetite or a lust or a desire to know about the future, to want to know what's coming next, right? To prepare ourselves, or because we're humans and we're finite, right? To get in contact with the spiritual world and to know the future and to play with that stuff is quote unquote cool to some people, right? But that's the main reason why people go to Ouija boards and things of that nature, is because they want to know the future, right? Now, are they getting the future? Are they getting answers? Are they getting certain things? Yes and no, right? I believe that there are, and the Bible supports that there's a such thing called a familiar spirit, right? And I plan on doing a teaching, long, exhaustive, Lord willing, next year on spiritual warfare, just because everything is just lining up, the content, the stuff I'm looking at. It's like, yeah, okay, I need to expose this for my viewers and for people who are my age and, you know, my viewers and things of that nature. So you be on the lookout for that next year, Lord willing. But the Bible talks about things such as a familiar spirit. I can't remember if it was Samuel or if it was Saul, but one of those two kings in the book of, I want to say it's in the book of 2 Samuel, so it might be Samuel. I can't remember it, but Samuel, we'll just use his name for a second. One of those two kings, they weren't getting answers from God at this time, right? And because they weren't getting answers from God, a war was coming, or some type of onslaught or opposition was ahead of this particular king. And because of this particular opposition was coming to this particular king, he wasn't hearing from God because he had did something wrong. He had disobeyed God, and he wasn't hearing from God. He got tired of trying to wait on God or to hear from God, so he seeks out a medium, which then goes after a familiar spirit, and that familiar spirit then tells, Paul, like, why have you, not Paul, Saul or Samuel, one of the two, why have you summoned me, and all these different things, right? But he goes to this medium who summons a familiar spirit, but he had just bound or prohibited witchcraft workers and diviners from being able to work, and casted them out of the place that he was king over, right? So he had to disguise himself in order to go seek after the woman who had a familiar spirit, right? So there's a such thing as familiar spirit. There's a such thing as demons who are working with people and mediums, things of that nature, to get some real answers and some fake answers. But the Bible tells us that the dead don't know anything, right? The dead don't know anything. The dead can't help you, right? You can't speak to the dead. But yet people go to these witchcraft workers or to these Ouija boards to summon these evil spirits, and thinking that they're summoning people that they know and things of that nature. And they're not summoning people that know. They're summoning a familiar spirit. They're summoning somebody who There's something, a demonic being, a spiritual being who hung around this person or that person and been around for thousands of years and able to give you somewhat real answers, somewhat not, and to trick you into thinking you're actually talking to the person, and then they ensnare you by attaching themselves to your life, right? So the reason why Christians shouldn't go to Ouija boards, shouldn't go to psychics, shouldn't go to, tarot cards, things of that nature to know the future about themselves or the future about what's going on, is because if we trust God and Jesus is Lord, then God is over us, and then God will let us know the future if we need to know it, right? Whether it's for ministry purposes, whether it's for our own future, whether it's for what he has planned for us, he will then let us know, right? The Holy Spirit will teach you what you should know. The Holy Spirit will give you the information that you should know, right? So because of that, we have that strict command to not go after, witchcraft workers and not participate in Ouija boards and things of that nature relative to things of fortune telling or foretelling, the future and things of that nature, because that goes against God is supposed to tell us that, right? And this goes directly against God because it's not God, right? So in the end, let me know how you guys feel about this whole Ouija board thing and Hasbro thing. Like I said, to me, like watching that video, it creeps me out. It's crazy to think now we're in a world where the occult and the demonic is now coming commonplace, and now where people are, it's becoming commonplace where people are doing these certain things and being a part of these certain things, and it's cool now. It's the new thing, and it's cool, and it just shows where we're at as as American people, right? But just where we are in the world, right? And how we really need to come against and really need to expose this stuff. So let me know how you guys feel in the comments about this. Good, bad, ugly. Let me know down below, and I catch you guys on a new video. Peace.